wanted to chat a little bit about how I feel about judgment and putting yourself out there. I don't find it easy to put myself in front of just anybody as nakedly as I do, especially on these videos that I've recorded. Yet, they've probably been one of the best decisions I've made in a while. It's been really awesome to just find people who actually say, hey, your stuff is really helpful. I posted a YouTube video in December or something of 2020, and it was something along the lines of like Mac OS features or like Ventura, whatever. And then I took it down like a day later. Then I tried to post some stuff on TikTok, and then I took it down. And there are some people, and I respect them hugely for this, but who record things or do things, and they could not care less about what other people think. I'm not one of those people. I am not in the slightest. In fact, I find it really hard to put myself in front of people and make an absolute fool of myself because I am in many ways a people pleaser. And this is not a bad thing. This is just a trait that I have, and it serves me in a lot of situations. I have a natural tendency for people skills, but that makes it really hard to sometimes do things which, in order to put anything on a platform, you must open yourself up to a lot of people who will disagree with that. And oftentimes there is absolutely 100% a stigma. And so, there are 800 or so people who are subscribed to me at the time of this recording, maybe a couple thousand who have watched me. It's a lot easier to separate myself from their judgment because I don't know these people, but it's a lot harder when it's people who you know. And the reality is you're worried because people will think it's shit, but the thing is they're right. It probably is shit. The quality of these videos, it's really not that great. The quality of the first videos I made, they're shit. They're cringy. They are all the bad things that people say they are. That is true. That's the problem. But you have to go through that in order to become better. And it is a horrible feeling because you know that people will judge you. And if you're blessed with immense confidence in yourself that you can continue through that and ignore everybody, then great. For the rest of us, it's normal to feel a little bit anxious about that because that's what it takes to do something new. You must be terrible at it before you can be good at it. And that's something most people do not acknowledge. This business that I've been running for 2.5 years has now resulted in a great quality of life for me. And I'm happy. I have a team of full-time people. I have deals which I'm very, very excited about. Like the companies that I work with are cool people. My clients are really awesome. But in the last 2.5 years, there's so many things I did wrong. My first hires were terrible. I didn't know what I was doing. The contractors that I brought on board, I didn't vet agencies properly. I didn't know how to pitch clients. My proposals were awful. That's the entire premise of why I set up DevLaunch. DevLaunch is my little thing that I spun up for like an accelerator program for development agencies because I haven't seen anything else out there do for development agencies. And I sucked. I could have used it. You have to go through the part where you suck at things. And that is scary, especially when you do it publicly. But I think the more that you can work on that skill of caring less about people's judgment, the further you can get. But also it's okay to try and fail and get embarrassed and take things down and then try again. As long as you continue to try. I would also say if you can surround yourself with more people who encourage you and embrace you for trying, then you should absolutely do that. One of the best things that happened to me from leaving school is the fact that I am no longer surrounded by people whose judgment I'm worried about. Leaving that circle is probably one of the best things that has happened to me. I'm no longer worried about are people at school or whatever going to find out about my XYZ thing. For example, my videos. In the ideal world, I can say I don't care about what those people think. I'm going to do it anyway. But the reality is it's not always a perfect world, and we are human, and at least I am. If nobody else has this problem, then great, and the world's great. But it's a perfectly natural and human thing, and detaching yourself from people's judgment is not easy, but it is possible, and it is a process. It is not a switch that you flick on and off. It is a spectrum that you slowly slide to the other side. A big part of not caring about people's judgment is actually just removing people who give you judgment, making sure that the people who you do keep around will not judge you for those things. That is a hard thing, but I think in the long term, it creates something that's also more fulfilling for you because you can authentically try things and you have a circle who will encourage that. But it's also okay to try, get afraid of people's judgment, fail, and then try again. Because guess what? You can try as many times as you like. But until you die, you basically have as many retries as you want. I really like that saying, which is like, I have failed more times than you've even tried. I don't know how many businesses I've built. I tried co-founding some, whatever, but I've been doing it since I was 13. And this business that has given me the things that I now have, I started when I was 17. That's 4 years messing about and not getting things moving forward. I tried and failed, but there was no reason in my mind why I couldn't try again, even though I had already failed so many times. As soon as you have the mentality of no, I've tried this like 5 times before, it doesn't work. If you reach that mentality, I think you've reached a dead end. You put yourself in a dead end because there's no reason for you to try again. It's just you have as many attempts as you want, and those don't have to be failures are not clean cut necessarily. Sometimes it can be a partial success turned into a failure. That's a very common thing. That's perfectly all right as well. And I've tried to learn this from people who have this as much as possible. But if you are able to truly detach yourself from the judgment of people, I think you can really act with more authenticity in your life and the things that you want to do. But that's not an easy thing, and it's something that I think you build over time.